Okay. So if you don't want to be recorded listening to this, time to leave. No, just kidding, right? Everyone, we're recording this for the benefit of those team members and those people that perhaps wanted to take a look at the Super Patch Company, but were very busy tonight. Hopefully, we'll catch them live next time. So, the Super Patch Company, what are we doing? What are we trying to do? And why are we here today? Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little bit of a background, um, I am a software engineer by education and training. I have a business degree from one of the top business schools in the world, the University of Chicago. I've been developing this product and this company for the better part of 15 years. It's been a passion project that has become all-consuming in terms of the commitment that is taken, the time that's committed, and the financial resources that have been committed to this for over the last 15 years. And there is a very personal reason for doing that. The personal reason I'll share with you very quickly is that I was trying to do a very simple, loving thing, which was provide care for my mom, who was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1983. And many of you have heard the story. So I'll make this brief. Over the many decades of in caring for her, I had the opportunity to take her to the top caregiver specialist, renowned scientist in the world, only to find that the light at the end of the tunnel every time was a train. And in frustration with lack of progress, I took it upon myself to start asking questions about how our mind and body work together, which led me down a rabbit hole of learning, education, relearning, discovery, creation, to find solutions that could help initially elevate the quality of life for my mother. And in time, I saw clearly that there was an immense opportunity to help the quality of life for the wider world. Now, people will say, well, Jay, how come you figured it out and not some eminent scientists at some university or some multinational big pharma and things like that? It's real simple. You won't find anything unless you start looking for it, number one. Number one. Number two, there is no equivalence of purpose when it finds you, and there is no equivalence of being divinely inspired to find a way to help someone you love. It was a perfect storm at the perfect time. And there's a longer story of how seemingly everything that I did in my life and my career prepared me to develop this, to do this today with all of you. And it's a very interesting story. But today we're going to focus on what separates this and why the Super Patch Company and our products are right for today. So what we are doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we're unlocking human potential through unrivaled technology. And the word technology is going to be repeated over and over and over again. Why is it technology? Because this is not a pharmacological solution. This isn't a supplement solution. This isn't a vitamin solution. This isn't a drug solution. This isn't a peptide solution. This isn't any of those things. This amazing device that we've spent 15 years and $25 million developing is a device just like your iWatch, just like your cell phone, just like your Fitbit, and all the other gadgets we use in our life. But this technology is designed to unlock the human potential. And truly, we are unlocking it because we don't add any supplementation or drugs to our body, because we don't add any electricity or energy. We use the patch like a key. to unlock what was already there, to restore our quality of life and our human potential to really to its full potential of how we were created. I still remember, Eric, the first time that I met you and we did the balance test together a year ago now. Do you remember that afternoon when you came by the office with some friends and we did the first demonstrations? um, Eric just stood there silently for a few minutes. Eric, do you recall that meeting?
Yes, I remember. And this was the aha moment, really, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's lots of things that look similar in the marketplace. This is so different because you get to feel it now, not 10 days from now, not 10 months from now, not 10 years from now, now. So that was like, okay, there is something to this.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, when we do the demonstration with this product, and many of you know how to do this demonstration, that initial reaction that somebody has and that amazement they have, know that they will never ever forget that. They will never ever forget how they felt in that moment, right? And and people that work with us, distributors that work with us, representatives that work with us that consistently do that demonstration, find that their funnel of people that they're talking to, that their sales funnel of prospective clients and prospective distributors is always full, right? But there is, and I'll tell you a little bit, a little bit of psychology and the neurology behind why that is. There's something in psychology called the psychology of shock and awe, the psychology of awe. When somebody has an aha moment, especially in a group environment, meaning more than one person, it overcomes a lot of the critical limitations, the critical thinking, the skepticism that happens when somebody is by themselves. Okay. So what we want to do is we always want to make sure we have an audience of the demonstration. Okay. Um, and it becomes the rocket fuel in terms of talking about the product, the technology, the amazing things that we're building. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've spent 15 years, $25 million bringing this to the world, to the market, all started as a passion project, but that quickly evolved into something that can change the quality of life for the world, right? So, I was talking with the creative team, and we've got the best creative team in the world. Actually, they're responsible for this amazing deck that we're using here tonight. And they said, Jay, what's your long-term plan? And in conversations with a lot of different people, I needed to be clear for myself. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And when my purpose became very, very crystal clear to me, it was clear to me as the sun in the sky that I'm doing nothing else. This is it, right? There's a certainty in my resolution to do this. There's a certainty in my conviction that I sometimes don't have the words to express. That surely as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west every day, for as long as I wake up every morning, this is what I'm doing. I'm here to build something generational, transform the world. To do anything else is a waste of time, not just my time, everyone's time that's associated with me. Because to put the energy, the passion, the resources, the time, the money into this, for it to be transactional, would be would be an incredible travesty to quit. We can't quit. We can't quit. So there's another underlying thing to this. This is going to be a lot of work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me, I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to tell you the straight goods up front. This is going to be incredibly challenging. This is going to be an incredible amount of work. There's going to be incredibly difficult times. There's going to be unbelievable surprises that come out of left field. But this will be the most emotionally, psychologically, karmically, and financially rewarding thing you've ever done in your life. Okay? As long as we can accept the hard stuff, we will get the best stuff in measures never seen before. because we actually get to change the paradigm of health and wellness in this world. Okay? This is something you need to understand. We get to change how people live across the globe with safe, affordable, accessible solutions. Okay? And we're going to build this amazing business around it, this massive economic model around it that rewards us for the efforts we're going to and the time we're going to put into this. This is why this is so important, right? Because the basis of our transformation, our transformative tool is our technology. The transformative tool we have in our hands is technology. And disruptive technology has always changed the world. And it always will. Just like the wheel did, just like the lever did, right? Somebody once upon a time made the wheel. First wheel. Who don't know who it was? Maybe it was Adam. I don't know. But somebody made the wheel, right? It just happened. And then the lever was made to move things, and somebody made rope, and somebody made a pulley, and somebody made a steam engine. All of these things happened. Somebody made a combustion engine. Somebody made the printing press. Somebody made a computer. Somebody made a printer. Somebody made a cell phone. And think about these things I've said. They've changed the world so many times. We've had an industrial revolution, ladies and gentlemen, that took us out of the fields and into the factories. We went from survival mode to sustenance, okay? To some certainty of economics. Then we had the great technology revolution of software and computers and the PC, and our productivity improved again. Once upon a time, ladies and gentlemen, I think there's many of us on this call tonight that remember not having a laptop, not having a desktop, having a typewriter where we type things in triplicate, and we'd mail things, and we'd wait for the mail to come back. And we had a phone that went like this. Remember that phone? Yeah, those phones. Then we got to the push button phones, right? And then we had, then the technology revolution created so much wealth, it was unbelievable. Technology has created more wealth than anything else in the world. And then we had the social media revolution. Then before that was the internet revolution, the social media revolution, and now we have an AI revolution just around the corner. We're in the middle of it right now. The world is changing. But what's been missed, ladies and gentlemen, there's a technology revolution that's been missed. Because every technology revolution that's happened has been focused on getting more work out of us. We could do more work in 8 hours. We could produce more in 8 hours now than we could ever do in the history of recorded history. Okay? More now in 8 hours than ever. Why? Because of the technology, the disruptive technology that exists that we've built and created. So what's missing? What's missing is a technology revolution that can help us live better. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is really simple. The reason is the entire paradigm of health and wellness in the Western world is based on dealing with infectious diseases. Okay? From smallpox to polio to the measles, you name it, we developed drugs and vaccines and solutions to combat those things that were wiping out millions and tens of millions of people a year, right? Real bad stuff. And we became really great at making those solutions and making those things available. But what's happened is the paradigm has shifted. We are no longer being devastated by smallpox and polio and the measles and those different things, right? What are we being tormented by? The human condition is tormented by things like aches and pains, poor sleep, too much stress, fatigue. So the paradigm has gone from infectious diseases to chronic situations. But the system in the Western world, the system is designed to deal with infectious diseases. So what does that mean? No matter what our problem is, the solution is always the same. It's some kind of pill. Okay? That's the problem. It's some kind of pill. The old saying, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So all they have are pills. So we have to change that paradigm, right? And there hasn't been a move in a technology way with a technology implementation that addresses the change in the paradigm until now. Like, that's a big statement. Until now, that paradigm has not existed, right? Because what happens is when you change that paradigm, which is a big thing, when you solve the biggest problems, you create the biggest economic opportunities. That's just a business fact. You want a $1 billion business, solve $1 billion problem. You want $100 billion business, solve $100 billion problem. You solve a $5 problem, you get a $5, so opportunity. This is how this works, right? It's absolutely tied to the number of people that have the problem and that you can solve for. Okay? So if you had a problem that could only help one person, you don't have unless that person is, the richest person in the world. If you could solve Elon Musk's problem, maybe you could get rich, but maybe, right? The more people's problems we can solve, the bigger the problem, the bigger the economic opportunity, right? And this is just business facts. So we have to be able to solve those. So what big health and wellness problems need to be solved? I mean, not the little ones, but the big ones, the global ones that exist in every home, every city, every state, every country, every continent, every nation, every language, every culture. That's what I mean by really big. Like everyone big, okay? These things are like poor sleep. These are big problems. Poor mobility, aches and pains, weak immune systems, low energy, high stress, low fitness, cognitive decline, mood issues, calorie control, and clean beauty. These are global problems being dealt with by billions and billions of people. 8 billion people in the world. Over 6 billion of them have some kind of deal that they're working with, right? Everybody's looking for something. Eric, everybody's looking for help. How many people do you know that could benefit from one or is dealing with one of these people or know somebody that's dealing with one of these people, one of these issues?
Well, that's exactly it. Everyone that we know, from our friends, our family members, our coworkers, any random person that we meet in the street or at the grocery store or at church, they fit into one or two or three or all of these categories, right? But at least one or two for sure.
Right. And so here's a fun fact for you, ladies and gentlemen. And it's really specific, probably to the globe, but I'll give you the facts that as it relates to the United States. 85% of the people at any doctor's office in the United States on any day of the week are there for one of three reasons: some kind of ache and pain, poor sleep, and fatigue, right? Or a combination. So 80, and you know what they're getting? You know what the solution is when they go to the doctor's office? The doctor has one solution. He or she has a prescription pad, and they write something that they go to the pharmacy and get, and they start taking it. Okay. So these are, and the thing is, these solutions, these challenges, these problems are not new. These have been around for a long, long time. Like these are real problems for real people for a long, long time. And so what does that mean? There's an entire industry that's been built already to solve these, and there's solutions already available. There's current wellness solutions available to deal with all those things, right? We have antibiotics and drugs. We have OTC products. We have holistic and natural products. We have lifestyle changes that we can make. We have diet changes we can make. We can do some exercise. We can take some therapies. Perhaps we need a surgery. We can take some more caffeine for the energy perks. We can take some supplementation. There's a bunch of things available. Actually, there are 1,000,001 things available. There's so many things available and so many people looking for help that this market is about $4.5 trillion. It's that big. It's the biggest market in the world. It's everyone, literally everyone, right? It's 8 billion people spending trillions of dollars a year to solve the problems on the first screen, and this is what they're relying on. This is what we have. Okay. And so although these solutions exist, Eric, there's challenges with these, right? So what are the challenges with the current solutions, right? There's some risks and some challenges. There's risks like side effects. There's risks like overdosage. There's contraindication risk. There's invasiveness risk. There's a cost risk. There's a regulatory compliance risk. There's a resistance to lifestyle change. People got to put time into it. There's safety issues. They might be hard to use. There's a bunch of things that are unresolved or consistent about the current solutions. Interesting, and this is a little bit of a side note. I got in trouble a couple of months ago. I did a presentation for one of our eminent leaders in the company. And the person, there's a guest, lovely, lovely person who has since become an amazing distributor. So I hope you don't get offended if I'm not going to name names here. But this person on the call, amazing woman, who's in the supplementation business. She says, well, Jay, how can you say those negative things about supplements? I go, I'm not saying anything negative about supplements. I'm just saying that I don't know what's in the supplements. I'm saying there's an abundance of evidence that supplements have overdosage challenges. There's regulatory challenges. There's safety challenges. There's a bunch of things. There's side effect challenges. There's a lot of things. She goes, and she said to me, well, it's not really fair for you to pick. I go, listen, do I believe in nutrition? Yeah, absolutely. I believe in nutrition. You better have good nutrition or you're going to be very, very sick, right? But I go, but I can't speak to the efficacy of the supplementation that's available. I'm not a biochemist. I have no idea how those things are going to interact with my body. So my point is this: there are great solutions out there, right? Not what we do, right? We have, I believe, an enhanced solution, a better solution that overcomes all of the challenges and risks here. Because supplementation doesn't get a check mark on all of these things, right? There can be contraindications. There can be regulatory compliance. There can be cost issues. There is certainly an overdosage issue with supplementation. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a safety issue. There's kids in California. There's a report out a couple of years ago, children overdosing on melatonin. Okay? Yeah, there's issues. Am I picking on any one specific thing? No, but I'm going to give you the straight goods. There's challenges, just like there's challenges to antibiotics. Just like there's challenges to vaccines, just like there are challenges to surgery, just like there are challenges to implants they put in our spine. There's challenges and there's risks, right? And our job to build a solution is to overcome those challenges and risks so we have a better solution. That's what our job is. That's what my mission is. That's what my purpose is, to give people a choice, an alternative, right? And so what do they want? What do people really want? You know what they want? We tested. We asked 10,000 people, what do you want on your health and wellness solutions for these common issues that people are dealing with? You know what they said? They said, we want drug-free solutions, Jay. We don't want any contraindications. We make sure it's tested. We don't want anything invasive. We don't want to change our diet and our lifestyle. It better be affordable. It better work fast. We don't want any side effects. It's got to be easy to use. It's got to be safe for my wife and my kid. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Right? That's what people want. That's what people just like you and just like me answered in our market research. I'm not the one making it up. The people have spoken. Right? So how do you get whatever you want? Give everybody what they want, right? It's an old adage by Zig Ziglar. If you help everyone get what they want, then inevitably you'll get what you want. I want to change the world for better. So I better give the world what it wants and needs, right? It's just an easier way to do business. It's an easier way to solve a problem, right? Another example is this. Listen, I'm sure there's a ton of coffee drinkers, right? But there's a certain way you like your coffee. Right? Some like it black, some like it with sweetener, some like a little bit of cream, some like a little bit of milk, whatever that is. Everybody's got their way of taking what they want. So as long as you give people what they want, how they want it, you got a winning solution, right? So we have this. Our promise is to deliver this, right? But to deliver that, we needed to break the paradigm that's existed in health and wellness, right? That paradigm that's holds back innovation. So we needed a breakthrough. We needed to do something that was never done before. We needed to find a solution that was not a Me Too product, because the Me Too products have been spoken for. They're already in the current solutions, right? This wasn't about finding a new molecule or a new supplement or a new peptide or a new drink or a new cream, right, Eric? It wasn't about that. It couldn't work, right? It wasn't
It's
going to
another
work.
Me Too. It's another Me Too solutions that
It's a
comes with
me
all
too,
those
you
issues that you
too,
talked
us
about.
too, them too, all of us, right? I mean, that's what that
Exactly.
was, right? It's, it's a mess. It's a mess, right? So, but this is the key to innovation, ladies and gentlemen. Innovation does not exist in the past. The past will give us indications of where to look and where not to look, but innovation exists in the dark room in the basement, and you have to stub your toe a lot. I stubbed my toe for 15 years to the cost of $25 million. That's how much toe stubbing happened. A lot of toe stubbing, right? A lot of bruises, right? A lot, and why? Because it needed to be done. That's the other thing. Why do it? Because it needed to be done. I have an old adage: if it can be done, it must be done. If you can do something that's the right thing to do, then you have to do it. Can't walk away from our responsibilities, right, Eric? We got to do the right thing, right? And then the solution that we make has to be so advanced that it looks like it's magic. Just like this cell phone, if somebody saw this cell phone in 1975, they'd say, "Beam me up, Scotty. It's from the future. It's magical," right? We used to dream about and talk about, people having TV on their phone, right? Well, we could talk to people and see their. It's taken for granted. Just take it for granted, right? This is all magical things. So the solution we needed to make had to be magical, had to be so far advanced that we had to break a lot of boundaries. And that's what we did, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what we've invented. We've invented the super patch. So this video will give you a highlight of what we've done and how it works.
On average, it covers about 21 square feet, bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight and contains 11 miles of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the Super Patch Company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you.
Oops. Sorry, gang. There.
Of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the Super Patch Company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. In fact, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a couple of doctors who unlocked the secrets of our body's sense of touch and temperature. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the Super Patch Company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. And their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom Super Patch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. It's well known that our minds regulate our physiology. The autonomic nervous system and other neural networks, much like computer programs of mind, control every aspect of our physical lives, from our heart and breathing rates to sleep and pain. But these networks can become dysfunctional or damaged due to factors like illness, stress, injury, or the environment. And when your neural networks stop working optimally, it can affect every aspect of your health. So to utilize these neural pathways, those ion channels, the Super Patch Company has been developing skin stimulation technology for more than 12 years. It's called Haptic Vibrotactile Trigger Technology, or VTT. Each super patch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. For example, more than 50 million Americans have sleep disorders. And according to the National Institute of Health, insufficient sleep is estimated to have a negative annual impact on the U.S. economy of more than $400 billion. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM super patch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Every year, more than 36 million falls are reported among older Americans. And studies show that balance is the most reliable biomarker for longevity. In other words, if you have good balance and stability, the more likely you are to live longer. Studies on the Liberty Super Patch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapies. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects. It's great to be active. It's even better to be proactive. The Super Patch, backed by research, proven by science.
Well, Eric, I got your note. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, Eric's giving me grief. He says, Jay, the volume's too low. You don't know how to use Zoom. Use the little button that says share the computer sound. So next time, Eric's in charge, and it'll sound
I
better.
said in such a nicer way than this.
Yeah, it's not. I didn't read it as nice as you might have meant it. So I took it to heart.
But you know what? I really love that video, Jay. Even though the volume was low, I love that video because sometimes people say, well, how does it work?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't spend 15 years and $25 million of my money to figure this out. Jay did, but I don't need to be a neuroscientist either. There's this little video that explains it. All I know is to do the balance test, to give you the wow experience, and then for any other questions, watch this quick video. That's such a great tool.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, what Eric is saying is absolutely the right advice and the right thing. No one needs to invest time, energy, and mind share to become a neuroscientist. The hard work's been done, right? There's no reason to go dig into neural. There isn't. This is the number one. It's proprietary. We're not going to share with anyone the mechanisms that we figured out how to develop it. But that video is thorough from beginning to end. It gives you all the information that anyone needs to know of what it is, how it works, and the benefits that it delivers. If people want more information, all of our research studies are on the website. They're more than happy to read them, right? Because, when people sell us the iPhone at the Apple store or at our cell phone carrier, no one's going into the engineering of the phone, right, Eric? It's about using the tool to say, hey, people figured it out. This thing's been in development for a long time. Here's a video that tells you how it works. And I always say, isn't that fantastic? Right? Because it is. So, but what's more fantastic is the results we've gotten from it, right? So what do we end up with? We ended up with the super patch, 100% drug-free, quick and proven benefits, almost 2 million happy clients now, maybe a little bit more. FDA registered, incredible clinical results, 30-day money-back guarantee, made in the United States with a 95% positive reviews. People are like, 95%? Yes, 95%. 95% of the people that use our product come back and say, wow, this is amazing. 5% will be like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, fine. No, you don't know. It's great. Nothing is 100%. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, nothing in the world works 100%. So to ask for 100% efficacy is impossible. It doesn't work, right? Some people have pain issues that morphine doesn't help them. Some people have inflammation issues that steroids don't help them. Some people have clinical terrible insomnia. Nothing helps. So, let's live in the world of real. We have 100% drug-free solutions that don't have side effects that work for 95% of the people that try it. And by the way, the balanced stability test works for 100% of the people every time. So the other 95 actually applies to all the other stuff. Right? The balanced stability test works 100% of the time on 100% of the people. Right? Which is amazing. So you can rest assured that when you do the efficacy and demonstrate the product, they're going to be amazed and wowed. Yeah, skip them. I need a new mouse. Eric, it clicks too fast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our innovation. It's called Vibro-Tactile Technology. Our innovation, ladies and gentlemen, is not the film. It's not the tape. It's not the glue. It's those little ridges. See those complex ridges? That's called Vibro-Tactile Trigger Technology. And those ridges help reset the neural programs that go offline. And when those ridges touch our skin, it activates sensations that our body creates, that our skin creates, that are sent to our mind, and our mind decodes it and sends the appropriate signal back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like Braille for the brain, but I'll give you another, maybe simpler way to understand this. For thousands and thousands of years, people have talked about the mind-body connection. Yes, Eric? In yoga, in ancient medicines, in Ayurvedic medicine, in ancient Chinese medicine, well before drugs and antibiotics and everything else, there was a civilization here that was focused on healing the body and the mind. And they talked about the mind-body connection, that the mind regulates the body and the body responds to that regulation. And if we can find harmony, we're going to live well, right? But ladies and gentlemen, for a long time, the mind-body connection has been a very esoteric and mystical concept, right? But what we've done is we've turned the esoteric into scientific and the mystical into mechanical. People talk about the mind-body connection. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the mind-body connector. This connects the mind and the body. How does it work? It connects the mind and the body and gets rid of any interference or bad programs, so the mind and the body are communicating clearly, efficiently, effectively, cleanly, without any outside interference, without any addition of energy, without any addition of chemicals, without any addition of drugs or side, nothing. Connect the mind with the body and get the static out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the mind body connector. It's called VTT, and it's made only by Super Patch. This is the revolution right here. 2 inches by 2 inches of amazing tech. Who knew, Eric? Who knew? We knew. We knew.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
Right? Right?
Super
And
easy to do.
how easy this is to use? Because that was one of the requirements, easy to use. So my friend Eric shows us how to do it. You peel it off, you stick it on, you live better. Not only is it drug-free, ladies and gentlemen, it's safe for the skin, it's paraben-free, non-GMO, gluten-free, it's latex-free, it's sugar-free, it's free of all that bad stuff. It's caffeine-free. There's nothing in it. What we're doing is
CBD-free.
it is gluten-free too, right? So you can put this against your skin with comfort and start enjoying the benefits. It's absolutely a phenomenal, phenomenal product. And the results that we're getting are game-changing. Game-changing. Peel it, stick it, and go. Feel better. Feel a super life, right? But, all of this is fantastic, Eric. But we have to prove this. To live in today's world, to survive in today's world, we need to bring efficacy to the conversation. We need to prove it. People want the receipts. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the receipts. We have the research. Our research is done by thought leaders. So our pain study was done by Dr. Jeffrey Gooden, who's a professor of anesthesiology and pain medicine at the University of Miami School of Medicine in Florida. Our sleep study was done by Dr. Paul DeGramji, who is a leading sleep expert specialist in the world and a former executive director of the American Sleep Society. Okay. Dr. John Haddad is a PhD in neuroscience studying vestibular response. We have 6+ studies in, more coming our way. This is a massive, and the reason we do this is because we don't want any regulatory challenges. We want to be able to prove what we say, that it is true and actually factual. And our science, when I said before that there is no solution in the past, but the past leaves clues, is so apt. Here's some fun facts for you. When people say, well, Jay, what do you mean the skin is sending a signal to the mind, to the brain? Ladies and gentlemen, it's actually old news. 2 scientists in 1939, Dr. Rabi and Dr. Milbourne, published a paper at Columbia University, and they proved that every single cell in our body was emitting and receiving signals, that we were actually one big antenna. 1939, they were so smart. They actually were literally the smartest people in the room. 6 years after that, they won the Nobel Prize in the development of the MRI. So 1939, 85 years ago, we knew, it was proven that we send and receive signals, that we're one big antenna. Okay? Now there's a bunch of other stuff going on. So another fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but not to spook you, all the conspiracies that are out there. So the US government actually has a patent that they can transmit signals through cell phones and computer screens and laptop screens that can actually interfere with our thinking. They have a patent for this, Eric. Things we don't know about, but you can Google it, right? So the science is out there, and unfortunately, a lot of science, if it's not aimed and controlled the right way, it gets used for not good reasons, right? So the first fact, we've always known that our cells transmit signals and receive signals. Second fun fact, in 2021, the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine was awarded to Dr. David Julius and Artem Pataputian for the discovery of transducers of the ion channels. They did their first research. Dr. Pataputian first published the notion of ion channels, the piezo 1 and piezo 2. The first paper, Eric, came out in 2010 as I was starting the research. I came across the research just digging through research and the latest greatest stuff. So Their discovery of ion channels played an immense role in my ability to develop the products that we've developed. Where they were trying to find the mechanisms of action, and they did a great job, became a great leverage point for us. I was able to take that raw science and actually make a practical, usable tool that can help humanity, right? Because no one owns the natural sciences. So it's okay to know how things work, but if you actually don't use them to actually help people, they become, just academic studies. But these guys are brilliant people, absolutely giants in their field. So all of this to say that the science of Super Patch, the science of VTT is embedded and based on deep Nobel-winning science. It's deep, it's profound, it's complex. It takes a lifetime to get our heads around it. But our approach has been so unique that we've invented something that is 50, 60 years ahead of anything else. Right? So what have we invented? We've invented the Super Patches. 12 revolutionary products that are changing health, wellness, and performance. We have our Freedom Patch for aches and pains, our Victory Patch for athletic performance, our Liberty Patch for balance stability, Move Like Never Before Ignite Patch to help us burn more calories and control our calories, Joy Patch for hope and happiness, and the life without a cloudy day, as they say. Peace to help manage stress, Lumi for radiant glowing skin, Defend to protect our body, and an ultimate immune response, Focus to pay attention like never before, to study like never before. The Rocket Patch, designed for men to restore their vitality and vigor. Kick It is willpower in a patch to help people overcome some bad habits sometimes that they have. The Kick It Patch is an absolutely phenomenal product. And the REM Patch to help people sleep like never before, sleep faster, sleep longer, wake up less in the middle of the night, wake up refreshed and restored. The study results are absolutely epic. We've got studies on the Freedom Patch, the Victory Patch, Liberty Patch. We've got studies on the Peace Patch. We've got studies on the Focus Patch. We've got studies on the REM Patch. Studies currently ongoing and publishing soon are Ignite, Lumi, Defend, and Focus. So everything will have a published study attached to it. Eric, this is how we roll. You know that, right? Everybody wants to, where's the proof? The proof is in the patch. The proof is in the clinicals. The proof is in the millions and millions of patch fanatics that love the product and share their stories worldwide. Hey, Eric, what's your favorite patch? Which one do you live by?
Well, I'm using the Victory Patch every single day.
Nice.
Right? I have the Defend Patch. I won't show you the Defend Patch. I would have to show you body parts that I'm not willing to show on on Zoom, because I have a few, right? And one thing that's very important, we have to put it on the skin where there's the least amount of hair, right?
Well, like for guys, for sure.
If I put the patch here, it wouldn't work, right, Jay?
I won't have that problem.
But it's like I like the analogy with the Braille. It's like if a blind person tries to read Braille with ski gloves on, it's not gonna work. It's not going to connect with the skin. So it has to have a good connection with the skin. So I'm wearing every single day Victory for athletic performance, every single day Defend for immune system, and I wear Focus as well. So those are my three go-to.
Absolutely.
And then sometimes I throw in the Freedom if I have aches and pains. Sometimes I throw in the Peace if I'm going to speak publicly in front of 10,000 people. Maybe I'm going to put on the Peace Patch. And the REM at night, without a doubt, the REM has done a tremendous amount. And I did my own little analysis, right? I've been using an app to track my sleep for probably over 9, almost 10 years now. So I have a huge database of my own sleep quality. And I can see the difference without the patch, the REM patch, and with the REM patch. So if you're working out, or like, sleep is our first superpower, right? If we all know that if we sleep well for 2-3 nights in a row, we tend to feel good. And if we don't sleep well for 2 or 3 nights in a row, everything tends to go very downhill, right? Our stress is through the roof, or we get injured easier. So sleep, if we can manage sleep well, everything falls in line. So sleep is one that I use every day as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, Eric. You know, every single one of these solutions is a multi-billion dollar industry, right? We know that from the solutions that are available right now that people are using. But hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we never stop innovating. We never stop thinking about how to help more people and bring more amazing products to market. So we've just launched our Boost Patch Energy like never before. It's actually available now. We launched on 11/11/24. It was such an astounding success, a seven-figure product launch in under 12 hours. Game changing. This has become my favorite patch, Eric. The Boost Patch is absolutely epic. You know, my schedule is so hectic. I'm working 16, 20 hours a day. This patch keeps me going. I take it off when it's time to go to bed, and morning I wake up, get going. I slap on my Boost patch. I slap on my Peace patch, and I'm rock and roll, and I'm getting to work. And this patch is absolutely gangbusters, ladies and gentlemen. This patch will become our number one selling product. It is so easy to recommend. People feel the difference. They wear this patch for a day, 2 days. They're a different person. Their energy level is at 10, 12, so high. And they can tell you, you know what? I feel great. I'm getting more done. My productivity's to the roof. No crashes, no jitters, no side effects, no caffeine, no sugar. Absolutely game changing, right? So this is what we've done, Eric. We've spent 15 years. We keep talking about $25 million to make the best possible product. Now what? Now what, buddy? Now it's time to make it the best known. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in network marketing, it's usually the other way around. A lot of people get together, they make a lot of noise, and then take a product that's a fad and they send it forward and it becomes well known. But because the product's a major product or solving a fad, like a diet, like a weight loss solution, right? It runs out of steam. When you build the perfect products, right? So one product isn't enough, ladies and gentlemen. You have to have you can't have one hero product. You got to have a product portfolio that solves a maximum number of needs and wants, right? That's what we do. So now it's time to make it the best now. So now it's time to commercialize this amazing development, right? And why do we want to commercialize it? Because there's a $500 billion market opportunity in front of us of people that we think we can actually reach, right? These are the billions and billions of people that are wanting solutions for the things that they're dealing with, from sleep to calorie control to unclean beauty to cognition, aches and pains, fitness, sports, stress relief, you name it. People want to feel better. People want to live their super life, right? And it doesn't matter how old they are, doesn't matter how rich they are, doesn't matter where they live, doesn't matter on their culture, doesn't matter on their language, doesn't matter if they're purple people, doesn't matter if they're polka dot people, doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter. Everybody wants this. Because everybody they're spending $4.5 trillion on it already. They're spending $4.5 trillion on it already. So we're going to give people the solutions that they want the way that they want them, right? And so this is the commercialization opportunity in front of us. This is the reward, potential reward ahead of us if we put in the effort that we've all decided to put in, right? We put the time, energy, effort, money into building this, then this is the potential outcome that we can all enjoy, right? But business is competition. Every business is competition. So they say, Eric, right? I agree with Peter Thiel. He says competition is for losers, meaning that if you're going to compete in the red ocean of Me Too products, it's going to be really, really bad. There's going to be a lot of blood in the water. So the solution is cheat. Okay. The solution is create some unfair market advantages for yourself. Create some unfair advantages where it seems like it's cheat code. It's like God mode in the video games. You ever play video games, Eric?
Yes, a long time ago.
Long time ago. So I got a 26-year-old son. He likes to play video games. And sometimes they'll put a cheat code in where you can't lose, right? I'm like, dude, that's no fun. He goes, yeah, whatever, Dad. I'm going for the high score. That's his reason. He goes, I'm going for the high score, Dad. So what we're going for, ladies and gentlemen, is the high score. We're going to go for the all-time high score in network marketing. We're going to go for the all-time high score in health and wellness. We're going to go for the all-time high score for best product, best company, best field, best leadership, best everything. We're going to win every single metric. And we're going to do it because we're going to go into God mode, into cheat mode. And what is our cheat mode? It's our super patch company market advantages. These are 8 things. These are 8 advantages in our business that no other company in this industry has. They don't have all 8. If any company has one of these 8, every single one of these, if they have it as a strength, and if they don't have it, it's a massive weakness and hole in their business. So this is a very binary game. If you have this market advantage, I'm going to go through all 8, it's a massive advantage for the business. If a company and an organization does not have this advantage, it is actually a massive weakness, which will lead to ultimate problems. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Network marketing companies are big boats. Every one of these potentially is a hole. If it's not there, it's a hole. And in boats and sailing, little holes become big holes. And big holes lead to sinking ships. Sorry, hard facts. Okay? Hard facts. Just telling you what it is. First, massive market advantage. Globally protected intellectual property and technology. Our VT technology is 15 years, 20 plus million in R&D. It's an industry disruptor. No one else has it. It's protected globally, and we're the only purveyors of this tech. There's no white label products or other place to get it. This is another Me Too product, no competitive products, 100% drug-free wellness and performance. And this is the thing. I own the tech. I own the IP. I own the technologies. What does this mean? We are not leasing it from somebody else. We are not borrowing it from somebody else. No one else dictates to us the terms and conditions in which we sell our product. We've seen too many horror stories in network marketing where somebody is borrowing somebody else's product and labeling it, and then one day they have a fallout. And then imagine if I borrowed this. Imagine if Eric designed this product. He was a mad scientist in Montreal, and he made this product. And I said, "Hey, Eric, I'm a pretty good business guy. How do you let me borrow your VTT? And I'm going to put it into a patch, and I'm going to put it in a network marketing company." Eric says, "That's a great idea." And we go and we build this amazing thing. Then Eric and I get in a fight, and Eric says, "Well, you know what, Jay? I'm taking my VTT and I'm going home, or I'm going over there." That would be a massive risk to the business. So if there's a network marketing company, number one, if they don't have IP, massive risk. If they don't own their IP, massive risk. Absolutely critical. We own our IP. Big check mark. Second, solutions and products for maximum market opportunity. With 12 plus different patches with unique benefits, our market opportunity is billions of consumers. So the solutions that we offer are not fads. Pain is not a fad. Sleep is not a fad. Stress is not a fad. Mobility and fitness, these are not fads. This is not the South Beach diet or the keto diet or the next diet or the last diet or the new diet. This isn't the latest, greatest skincare and this cream, that cream, or some other cream. I'm just telling you folks how it is, okay? Because those are fads. Fads run out. Remember we talked about it, the world's biggest health wants and needs. Those ones. Those are infinity problems, which makes us an infinity company. People are going to want solutions for those forever and ever and ever. Drug-free solutions will never go out of style. Okay? You can write that one down. They'll always be in demand. Right? The fact that we have 12, now 13 different solutions means that we can help billions of people. That means there's a limitless opportunity. If we only had a niche product for a niche market, our opportunity would be limited and subject to massive economic and market conditions. So check mark. Products that work. The product got to deliver on the promise. They got to work as advertised, right, Eric? They got to work as advertised. Imagine if the balance stability test only worked sometimes. That'd be risky business. It would be a massive risk. Ladies and gentlemen, products work, clinically tested, thousands of testimonials. Big check mark. Products that work fast. Now, this is the key. We live in an instant gratification generation, ladies and gentlemen. No one's going to give us 30, 60, 90 days for something to see benefits. Won't happen. Won't happen. Right? No one's going to give us that chance. right? They want to heat up the food and they want to eat it. They want to Netflix. They want to watch a movie. They want to go to Netflix or Prime. They want to watch it right now. They don't want to wait. Remember back in the day, we'd get the TV guide and the Sunday paper, and we'd flip through to see when our favorite shows were going to play. And all you guys at my age, you know what I'm talking about, right? It was you just go buy the TV guide at the corner store or the writing store. They used to sell the TV guide. There's no more TV guide. It's all on the screen. People want instant results. So what we have are life-changing, mind-blowing results with our demonstration. No need to wait for weeks and months to see results. Check mark. Fifth thing, regulatory and clinical compliance. Hey, you got to play right with the regulators. We don't like them, but hey, they're the rule makers and the sheriffs. So we got to be registered with the FDA. We're MDR registered in EU. Proven clinicals, peer-reviewed and published. Drug-free, ingredient-free. What's amazing is every product is the same in every market. Every consumer in any part of the world will get the same product. Eric, no changing ingredients, no running out of ingredients, same products. Everything's the same. Everything's drug-free. World-class manufacturing partners. Absolutely key. Big check mark. And we talked about this, ladies and gentlemen, no lifestyle change required. Resistance to change is the number one obstacle to a healthy life. We all know this, right? So people don't want to change. They want to change their diet. They don't want to change their lifestyle. They just want easy. Nothing's easier than patch and go, man. Easy to use and consumable, right? Patch and go. That's it. Massive advantage. Perhaps one of our biggest advantages besides our IP is our price for the consumer. We did a 10,000 person pricing exercise to find out what would the end user consumer pay. They would pay $60 for our product. Once we had that price point, we built an economic model around it that you're all aware of. That's how we've gone from 0 to 60 million to 100 million plus. Why? People can afford our product. There's no point making something people can't afford. People are like, I've never seen my team grow so fast. I've never been able to get so many customers. Yeah, like I know. Why? Because network marketing is saddled with expensive products. You could buy similar products at Whole Food or GNC or your local health and wellness supplement store for a lot less. Or on Amazon, God help us. You know, everything's on Amazon, right? So give the people the product they want at the price they can afford, and you will have consumers for life. It's absolutely critical for customer acquisition and retention. If the price is too expensive, ladies and gentlemen, if there's a company out there, I don't care which it is, and they have a solution, but it's more expensive than alternative solutions that are similarly the same, it's a matter of time, because that is not a consumer-driven solution. Hear me out. Overpriced products that are priced to fill a comp plan is not a sustainable solution in today's world. Eric, that's hard talk for some people, right?
But
you have to build an economic model. You have to make an economic model on products people can afford. You eliminate churn, you eliminate attrition, you eliminate all those things. We want to be Crest. We want to be the most recommended patch in the world. We want to be in every household. We want to be in every, and you got to imagine if Crest was 4 times the price of Colgate. You think it'd be a success? No, it will not work. So this is a massive advantage. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how powerful our advantage is, and I want you to think about it. We're at $60. By far the most effective solution for what we offer. No other network marketing company can reduce their price by 50% to get to where we are on their lead product. Think about that. We started this right. We started with the right price point. We've given ourselves such an advantage that it's insurmountable. We will always be the best value in our industry. We could, by the definition of our technology and advancement, we could probably justify that, hey, our technology is so fantastic, we should be able to charge more. But that doesn't align with the mission of what it is. Our mission is to help billions of people, and billions of people have economic limitations, right? If our objective and our mission is to change the quality of life of billions of people across the world, then it have to be affordable and accessible by billions of people across the world. Otherwise, we're talking out of both sides of our mouth, which I shall not do. And finally, our co-op marketing program. This mass media advertising used to be only in the hands of Fortune 500 companies. Why? Because the cost is expensive. It's tens of millions of dollars. So we put together this amazing program called CapAgs. The field and VPC joined together on mass media advertising to drive brand awareness and customer acquisition, and we share the lifetime customer revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the only co-op program in the industry. Customer acquisition and retention is the only sustainable business model. Okay? It's the only sustainable business model. McDonald's says billions and billions of people served. They don't talk about how many franchises they have. They talk about how many customers they serve. We are in the service. We are in the wellness service business. We are delivering wellness to the end user. Think about it this way. If people couldn't afford the product and the product didn't work, would it matter how many distributors we had? Eric? Would it matter?
Yeah. It would not matter one bit.
It would be nowhere. It would not matter. Right? Our strengths are our technology, our price point, our product efficacy. All these things that you see on the screen are what separate us from everything else. This is what separates it. This is why it's so powerful. And I can tell you, if you wrote these down in a column and you put super patch on the next column, you could go check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. I'll bet you dollars to donuts. If you put the name of any of the network marketing company beside our name, you will not get 8 check marks. Not one company, Eric. That's incredible.
I've looked at a lot of them. Like I said, about 200 in the last 13 years.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, none of those 200 have half of those.
No, they don't. They don't, because they haven't. They're not designed to do what we're designed to do. Right. This is a very deliberate, strategic build of this technology in this business.
And one thing I have to say, you've hinted at it earlier, but a lot of the network marketing companies out there were started to be just that, a company to make money. And what's the thing? What's going to be our thing? Well, our thing is going to be these great glasses. So we're going to have these glasses and we're going to build it with this particular compensation plan. And that's usually how a lot of network marketing companies start, with a compensation plan in mind. And what's going to be our thing? What's the one thing that we can sell to people? This was completely reversed.
This is actually the right way. This is actually the right way. It wasn't reversed. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit on one more thing because I know I'm taking up a lot of your time and I've gone over my hour, but I do apologize for that. But let me go back here. You see this number here, this $500 billion. And before that, I'm going to go back to hold on. I'm going to go back to this. I need something you need to understand. You see these solutions here, ladies and gentlemen? No other network marketing company in the world offers these benefits this way. No other network marketing company in the world offers drug-free solutions for this many benefits. To sink in. For pain, athletic performance, for mobility, balance, stability, for calorie control, for mood control, for stress management, for radiant skin, for immune support, for attention and focus for our kids, male virility, managing bad habits and willpower, better sleep, more energy, all drug-free, all safe, all tested, okay? No other network marketing company has this many solutions. We have this is why our market opportunity is so big. And I'm going to say something else to you. There is no one single big pharma company in the world that has this many solutions for this many wants and needs. Not Pfizer, not Merck, not Lilly, not GlaxoSmithKline. None of them, not a single one of them, have this many solutions that can potentially help this many people. Let that sink in. Not only are we up against them, we got them licked. We got them beat. Okay? We have something for everyone, and it's safe, and it's affordable, and it's ethical, and it's clean. Our product will go wherever the wind blows, ladies and gentlemen. I just need you on the boat with me. The wind will carry us there. Let that sink in. You want to talk about a business plan? That's a business plan. So why is it working? What's the success to date? 60 million in 2023, 100 million plus in 2024, 30 plus countries, 75 million patches sold, 6 plus clinical studies, and our research has been presented at the leading congresses in the world for pain, for sleep, for psychiatry. You name it, we're there. Our research is being presented. Sometimes people want to poke at our research, and I'm like, well, I don't know, man. It got selected. The people reviewed it, peer review reviewed it, and they said, yeah, you can present your research here. You know how many network marketing companies are at Pain Week? Eric, want to guess?
0.
0. You know how many network marketing companies at the World Psychiatry Congress? 0. At the European Sleep Symposium? 0. At the World Pain Congress? 0. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a different league. And it sounds like I'm bragging, and a little bit I am, but a lot of work has gone into this. Not just by me, by the entire team, the entire field, every distributor, and everybody at corporate. This has been a relentless pursuit to change the world. And we're just starting. We're just starting. We're just starting. So we start in January 2023. By June, we open up the European Union. In 2025, we're going to be Turkey, Switzerland, Mexico, Colombia. We will be there. And then look out Asia. And then look out Asia. Look out. But we will build, grow, and stabilize the markets we're in, and then we'll take the next step. But we're on our way. We're on our way. And this is all due to the amazing work that the field has done together, right? But our products are being used everywhere. They're being used in the NFL, the NBA, the Major League Baseball, Champions League, the NHL, and the NCAA. Every major league has teams and athletes using our product. And soon you'll start seeing them on the TV, on the television, as athletes more and more start using it. You start seeing it on the TV, be like, hey, I know what that is. I know what that is. That's how the CapEx program elevates us. This is where the awareness comes from. This is where the CapEx revenue goes into marketing, awareness, branding. And our strategic partners, absolute best in the world. The tape, the film, and the adhesives made by 3M, credit card processing by Nuvei, one of the largest network marketing credit card processors in the world. Hubu is our shipping partner in Europe. ShipBob in the United States. Power BI manages all of our analytics and our data. And ByDesign is our back office. These are the best in the field at what they do. Why? Because we're building for scale, ladies and gentlemen. We're building for a multi-billion, multi-generational business. You can't get there with small players. You got to go with the best, the biggest, and you got to figure out how you're going to work with them. Does it cost more money? Oh, yeah. Costs way more money, but you get way more stability. And we have amazing brand advocates and more coming. Jay Glazer's talking about Super Patch, and you see him wearing the patches on Fox Football every weekend. Every weekend, this dude's on TV, 10, 15 million people watching, and he's rocking his Super Patches. Everybody on Fox Football, every dude, every person on that show is wearing our patches, and they're ordering them, and they're sharing them. We're in 12 NFL locker rooms. It's absolutely mind-blowing. We have an amazing advisory board. Everybody on this advisory board is investigating a new study, is working on a new study. Dr. Mark Sager at the University of Arizona, and Dr. Anna Tucker with the Hostel Group in Texas. Dr. Mark working with a mental health organization on the East Coast, and Dr. Alex Schaus is going to spearhead our Lumi research. Absolutely the best people in the field. So what do we do now? We've done this. We've made an amazing, we have product leadership, technology leadership, IP globally protected. So the investment's already done. The hard work is done, Eric.
Thank you for that.
We did it. We have a multinational, multi $500 billion market opportunity that's addressable. of affordable products for the mass market for 6 billion people, unrivaled market advantage overall MLMs. It's massive. Our economic model and our compensation plan is simple, no limits, no tricks. Has an incredibly simple, lucrative compensation program, plus trips, rewards, and more. So now what do? But it's not enough, right? It's not enough that you have all this. When we want to do business, we want to go all the way through. We want to tie up all the loose ends. So what we've put together, ladies and gentlemen, is an amazing 60-day program. We have the best leadership. Eric and the other MVPs have the roadmap to success. And our presidents have the roadmap to success. They know how to get a brand new person up and running in 60 days, recoup their investment, and set the stage for future growth. Eric, this is something that you and your team have done better than perhaps anyone else. Talk about how important this is, man.
Well, this is the key. I mean, like you said, you've done all the hard work. We don't need to create the product. We don't need to think about what the next batch is going to be. We don't need to do any of that. Jay has spent a lot of time making sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. All we have to do is focus on spreading the word, right? And there's a very strategic way of doing this. And there's some things that we shouldn't be doing, and there's some things that we should be doing. Because we have decades of experience in the industry, we know what works, what doesn't work. We know the fast way to get it. We know the slow way to get it there. So depending on what you want, because nobody's going to say, quit your job now and do Super Patch full time, right? The beauty of this is that we get to do this part-time. We keep our jobs, our steady income. Maybe it's a boss that you love. Maybe it's a boss that you hate. Maybe your goal is to get out of that job. Whatever your goal is, whether it's to make $500, $1,000 extra a month, or completely replace your full-time income, there's a plan in place to help you. So make sure that you work with the person that gets you into this business, because there is a plan to help every type of person. The $500 a month goal, the $10,000 a month goal, the completely change my life goal. There is a plan, but the steps at the beginning are always the same. We need to start now. We need to start fast. And we all know those people that need those results. We all know them.
Eric, absolutely true. I'll add one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, speed kills. When you have speed, you kill the competition. When you don't have speed, you get killed. Okay? You got to move. And what speed does is it gives confidence, and confidence is oxygen. You need, when people listen, if you are not a part of this team yet and you're thinking about it, let me set this for you. You want to work with your leadership team and you want to move fast. You want to get some points on the board and you want to share this as fast as you can. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you win. That's how winning's done, as Rocky Balboa says. That's how winning's done. You got to hit and go, and you got to move fast, but we have everything in place for you. We have an amazing way to join. We've got 2 amazing products packages available. They're real simple. So think about this. This is the investment, ladies and gentlemen. 15 years, $25 million. We're in a rocket ship to exceed $100 million this year in our first 2 years. We got $13 billion opportunities in every patch. You could build a $1 billion business just on one patch. You could build a magnificent income just by focusing on your favorite patches. That's how powerful this is, right? So if you're here tonight as a guest, you have a choice to make. Number one, do you want to do this? Can you recommend a product that the whole world needs? And the answer is probably yes. You have a choice. You go with $9.99 or $19.99. You get so much value in this. It's unbelievable. Call the person that invited you. Let them know how you want to get started. Most people obviously use Visa, MasterCard, or whatever to get started. You got to pick what works for you. You want to have all the products in your back pocket, right? And then you want to get to work, and you want to call the 5 people that you're thinking of right now with your upline, with your person that brought you on board. You want to call them, and you want to share this presentation with them right away, and you want to get it going, and you want to do it fast. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is our oyster. We can build this thing into whatever we want. We can build whatever we want here, but it's completely up to us. Our success is in our hands. We have the best product. We have the best technology. We have the best leadership. We have the best programs. We have the best incentives. We have an incredible compensation. All the things are A plus plus plus. Now, if this sounds like something you want to be participating in, call the person that called you tonight and get with them. And we can't wait to have you on board. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful evening. Next week, Eric, this is your show. I'm going away for 15, 16 days. I'll see you guys in the new year. Everyone, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. And hope to see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye for now. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.